Yo, look at the graphic, dude.
Oh, man.
Sorry for all you guys watching this
Look at that graphic.
and not listening. We have a graphic of the Xbox Series X with muscles and the PS5 dev kit
That face.
crying.
It looks like
cartoon
a
eyes.
face.
Looks like it's melting.
It looks like
Yeah.
that's a mouth.
Wow.
That's why I put it on there. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Perfect.
Oh my God.
I tried out different eyes and I was like, no, this is perfect. It works perfectly for that.
Well,
Video Game Podcast.
Digital Foundry tracked available leaks regarding next generation consoles, and PS5 is looking weaker than the new Xbox, according to their stats.
Damn right.
So what they're saying is, I mean, a lot of people aren't going to really care.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
What they're saying is the PlayStation 5 is looking to have 9.2 teraflops versus the 12 teraflops that Xbox has.
Oh my
So what you
God.
mean?
Give me my teraflop.
So-
What you mean to tell me?
So to take it back into perspective,
Yeah.
like, you always say what you guys.
No. So what you mean to tell me
Bad
is
joke.
that
Bad joke coming.
Xbox Series
Yep,
X
here it comes.
is 3 more teraflops than the PS5.
That's what it seems.
Actually, I have more of a question. Why do you keep getting so close to your mic every time
Yeah,
you talk?
man. What the fuck?
Sorry. It's
It
just,
was like, let me get this.
talks like this for some
Blow-
reason.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Ow.
Everyone can hear you.
You're blowing
That's
out my ears.
That's
man.
that MC shit.
Yeah, really, man.
Stop it. Stop it.
So
It's been a while for Kevin. He doesn't know how to act.
to take it back to, I can see how. Listen, this is what it's like. I can see how when we were younger, when 8-bit switched to 16-bit, and then to 32-bit, and we were like, "Oh, you got an 8-bit system. I got a 16-bit system." Like, if people would care, like,
bit wars, man.
it was a bit war, and
Yeah.
since the systems got so powerful, there's nothing like that anymore. So you can't say, "Oh, I have the better system" because you got that crappy like.
It doesn't
turbo
matter
graphics.
anymore. Yeah, it doesn't
Or
matter.
whatever.
You know what does matter?
The
What has more
games.
exclusives?
Yep.
Exactly.
But no.
Y'all need to
So
shut up with that.
when the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation
always
Xbox One first came out, there were games that ran at a lower resolution, because they didn't know how to use the system
On the
with
Xbox
the
One.
limitations. Yeah, so it wouldn't be at 1080. It would be at like 900, and you could tell
And the
like when you
upscale.
look at it, it was choppier. It didn't look as good. So I can see if this is a big enough thing to distance itself.
Nah.
As far as what the games will look like, I can see why you pick, if you had both systems, why you pick one over the other if you were to buy it. Like there
think
was
it
some
goes by
games
the
back in the
games,
day. No, I'm saying even if it's the same game, because there was games like Earthworm Jim that were for Genesis and for Super Nintendo. I would never touch the Genesis one because I hated it, and I loved the Super Nintendo one. But even though the Genesis one was considered a better one because it had more stages, and I would be like, oh, that's the better game. But I hated it because the colors weren't the same, the music wasn't the same. And I chose that one. So if there's something to differentiate it to the point where I'm like, I want this one over that one because of something. Like, I don't know if that's going to be what
it
it is.
depends on
that's nitpicking.
I think it depends
No,
on the
no, it's
game
not.
because, like, look at
Remember
Resident
Mortal
Evil.
Kombat for Genesis and Super Nintendo?
Yeah, there was a difference.
Well, blood. People want
Hold on.
blood. That's a whole different
Hold on.
story, though.
They
They looked almost the same. Though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it
that's
also
the same.
depends on the game too. If you're talking about fighting games, look at Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom on the Sega Saturn versus PlayStation.
There's a difference.
Obviously, the Saturn looked better.
Saturn one.
The Saturn
But
was
that-
released
Way better,
better. It was actually close to the fucking arcade.
Okay.
But it depends on, is this going to make it better? Is this going to be something that can determine, is this going to run choppier
But you
here
know-
or is it not going to run choppier?
Yeah, but
because the games are
PlayStation-
only getting more powerful.
Right.
So I don't know how much that 3
I don't think it-
teraflops
Three
is gonna do.
I don't think it's
teraflops a
gonna
lot.
matter.
It's gonna matter.
I don't think it's gonna matter
It's
either.
not gonna matter.
Hopefully it's not, but who knows?
I
No,
say
I
it's
don't
not
think
going to
it's
matter
gonna-
because Xbox doesn't have games, and it all comes
to
down
the games.
down to what system has the games that you want.
That's
Listen,
it.
you're talking about-
and since that nowadays games are so powerful and they look so good,
not gonna matter.
it doesn't even matter at this point. When it's Resident Evil for the Sega Saturn compared to PlayStation, yeah, it fucking matters because the Saturn looks fucking disgusting.
It's gonna matter.
But,
Here's
but
what-
that's
yeah,
a
but-
point I'm
No,
talking about,
but
though.
you're not.
Xbox about to
But
take
it's
over
not.
again.
But when it looks this good on the new PlayStation and the new Xbox, it's not going to matter because it depends on what games you want
Check
for
it
that
out.
system. Who has
Well,
the exclusives
Check it
you
out.
like?
Hey, let me.
Well,
I got something to add to that. I wanted to add that, okay, this generation, right? This console generation right now, we got the PS4, we got the Xbox One, we have the Nintendo Switch, right?
1 teraflop.
The Nintendo Switch is actually the
One
weakest
teraflop.
of all the systems, right?
1 teraflop.
But it's outsold fucking all the other systems.
And it's the weakest system.
And it's the weakest of the fucking system, and it has more games that are released every fucking week than all the other goddamn systems.
But this what I'm
So
saying.
it doesn't matter.
But what I'm saying,
the graphics don't matter. It's,
Listen. If it's the same game, what I'm saying is, if it's the same game,
Okay. So they picked
If
the Switch
that-
because it's portable.
no, because the Switch doesn't have the same
that
game. The
portability-
Switch doesn't have the same games, and there is a definite difference in it. But I mean, the fact that it's portable does help.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
if it wasn't portable and you had the choice to pick the best of the systems
You pick
that
the
it was
best.
playing on, why would you pick the Switch? Like if you're playing The Witcher, like if it wasn't portable
Nah.
and you were playing The Witcher and you had your chance to play it on the most powerful system or the one that's not powerful and it costs $60, why would you pick the uglier one?
Also, it depends what you own.
Sure.
Not everybody owns all
No,
these
no, I'm
systems.
saying if
Yeah.
you have
Everybody's
all of them.
situation is different, plus the price too. We don't know what the fuck
It makes
the price
sense
is
if you
gonna
own
be.
all of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that could be an advantage. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If it's an advantage, because you're talking about Xbox One, and I can say the same thing. Xbox 360. No one thought that Xbox 360 was going to come down to Xbox One and be like, oh, there's no games. Like Xbox 360 had all the games.
Actually, I had a lot of games.
So that's not to say that the new Xbox is not going to have a lot better than Xbox One. So I can't say, oh, it's not going to have no games,
Right.
because it's not the same. They bought a whole bunch of stuff and they're
They
working
did
on a
bought
lot
a
of stuff.
bunch of
And,
things.
they-
Please, God, come out with something. Please.
and they're focusing on games now.
Xbox about to take over again.
I see the dream.
It's gonna happen.
But I don't think, listen, in all honesty, I don't think that change is going to affect the games. But if it's something that is going to affect the games, then there is a positive on the Xbox over the PS5. If it's going to diminish what the PS5 has, it says we can't do that because, they showed the demo. Obviously, it's not the top of the line of everything they could do on the system, but they showed a demo of PS5 and they showed a demo of Xbox. Xbox blew the PS5 one away as far as the textures and stuff they were doing with it. Obviously, people have to learn how to use the system. I think overall, it's not a big enough difference to determine that the game is going to look bad on one and not the other.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
I think they're going to learn different ways of programming the game to do it because obviously the Xbox caught up and they made 1080p games. Just had to learn how to program differently on the system to make it look better than what they did on the PS4.
I think there'll be a select, bunch of people that will be like, all right, if they own both systems, they're like, all right, if that slightly looks a little bit better, they'll be like, you know what, I want the quality, I want that. There's gonna be a select few that will do that. But
I do
think-
it.
No, there are.
No,
There's
no,
already
I'm
is.
saying there is.
They're
but I
called
don't think-
PC owners.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal where it's just like, oh my god, you could see that little thing I'm gonna buy it for. It's just that.
I do it like
very minute.
I don't think it's gonna be a big deal.
If those
stuff.
extra teraflops are making Gears 6 split screen,
There's no Gears
4K, 60 frames per second,
Why is
then
he so
yeah.
close to the
Yeah.
mic?
sorry,
Why is he always so close to the
What
mic?
the fuck?
I'm sorry, but that's
But-
all I want to say.
Just like I do. Like I have the Xbox One X. If there's a third-party game that comes out for all systems, I'm gonna pick it up for the X because, in essence, it's the most powerful system. Why wouldn't I get it for that? And it gives me a reason to actually buy something for the Xbox.
Yeah.
So
I gotta say it like that.
that's it. That's the truth. But yeah. So I think maybe in the first run of the systems when they're making the games, it might be a little bit of a difference between what's better and what's not if they're making the same thing. I think overall, after the first year or so, everything's gonna be the same regardless. So
It's like cell phones, man. They're all the same.
Yep.
What else can you add to a
$1,000
fucking
As long as I can call somebody.
Yeah. As long as I can
Yeah,
call-
seriously.
They all do the same shit.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do to add to a
I'm
fucking
good.
smartphone.
But yeah, so let us know if it's gonna matter if the PlayStation 5 or Xbox is weaker than the other. They're not gonna be the same system, obviously.
Right.
3.2 teraflops.
No, I think it's good, man. I hope they do come out. I hope that Xbox does come out with more games.
I actually
they bought a
want
lot
them
of
to do-
studios.
I want them all to do well.
Yeah, man.
I really do.
The competition,
It's good.
yeah, breeds innovation.
It's
So
just
let's
weird
see.
though with Xbox because
If it's just one system, we're fucked.
Yeah.
The
No,
cloud is coming.
Yeah, exactly.